As a member of the board, and perhaps as a member of the risk committee or the governance committee, you have certain responsibilities. One of them is to think about the organization on whose board you sit, or the organization for whom you're the CFO, and to look at the long-term strategic inflection points for the company, and to also look at what risks the company faces. Let's take a few examples. What do you imagine would be the risk if your company forgot to renew the core domain name that results in the primary sales and the primary branding of your entire organization? What is the risk? How have you protected that? Perhaps if you talk to the CEO or to the director of IT or the CTO, they'll tell you they have a lot of safeguards in place. They probably do. But think about it a little bit more. Which safeguard is completely out of your control? There is one thing that is completely out of your control. The actual owner who is running the domain name, the registry that is running the domain name. It's another company. They have their own policies, and you as a company is forced, in most cases, you have to go through a registrar, through a web hosting company or a domain name registrar. There are many big names in that industry, but you have to go through them. And history is rife with examples of companies that forget to renew their domain name. And it takes hours, days for that non-renewal to actually be rectified. Some examples. Microsoft in 2003 forgot to renew hotmail.co.uk. They shut down Hotmail inadvertently. It required Microsoft in Seattle, several time zones different, to have to call up the registry in the United Kingdom, again, several time zones different, find somebody who would actually be able to help them restore the domain name rapidly. Even after they restored the domain name, it was still hours before that domain was able to be re-accessible to the rest of the world. A few years ago, Google forgot to renew google.de. The entire google.de service went down, again, for hours. Just last year, Foursquare, which had just raised a bunch of financing from venture capitalists, forgot to renew their domain name, foursquare.com. And last year, another example, the Dallas Cowboys, one of America's storied football teams, the Dallas Cowboys forgot to renew dallascowboys.com. And everybody who wanted to go to that website or send emails in and out completely failed. Why? Even this year, just a few months ago, Disney forgot to renew the domain name for Club Penguin, which is aimed at kids. And again, not only is there an embarrassment, a PR problem, and damage control, but you actually lose money, you lose customers, and you take on a significant corporate risk. One solution away from that level of corporate risk is to actually own the entire brand, own the entire chain from the top all the way down to the bottom. What does this mean? So Disney, which forgot to renew clubpenguin.com, what did it have to do? It had to go to its registrar, ask them for help. The registrar then had to go to the .com registry, ask them for help, and then once all of those people were able to get their act together and restore the domain name from its status of having been suspended and deleted, after that happened, then and only then was Disney able to get its name back. What if Disney had actually owned .Disney? What if instead of clubpenguin.com, it was clubpenguin.disney? Well, a couple of things. One, the chances of renewal failure are a little lesser because it's controlled by IT inside of Disney. Number two, Even if the name was forgotten to be renewed, you're in Disney, you know exactly who to call, and it's completely within your control, right? So that is one of the significant risks that you can avoid if you end up applying for and getting your own brand. And that opportunity exists right now.